Today we're gonna cook the parmigiana, but we're missing the aubergines. Parmigiano, mozzarella and the tomato sauce, they're waiting for us at home, but we have no aubergines, and today is Saturday, and every Saturday here in my town there is a market, so we're gonna go in the market and we're gonna get the aubergines. But first of all, we're gonna start with a real Italian breakfast with a cornetto and a real cappuccino. So I'm gonna eat this and then we go.
I was living in a devil town. I didn't know it was a devil town. Oh Lord, it really brings me down about the devil town. All my friends were vampires. Didn't know they were vampires. Turns out I was a vampire myself in the devil town.
Okay guys, we're there. Here's the market. It's full of local people who are selling their stuff. Fruit, vegetables, everything they have, but even clothes and everything that they want to sell. It's over there, so we're now gonna walk and we will see it. Let's go. Okay guys, this is the street. It's this direction, that direction. It's full of people selling their vegetables and every other things like clothing and everything. So we're now gonna talk with somebody and try to get our aubergine. Some stores are still closed, so we're not gonna get many people in here yet because it's just 7 in the morning. Maybe we exaggerated with the time, but now let's go and find a local producer. Ti posso chiedere le melanzane? Le melanzane, 4 melanzane. Di queste qua grandi. Aspetta, io. Che dici, bastano per la parmigiana? Quante persone? Dipende da quante persone siete. 7-8 persone, una teglia normale. Arriva un'altra? Metti qualche altra. Perché 7-8 persone con la prima parte se ne rimangono 2 e se ne mangiano il giorno dopo freddo. A posto. Devo anche le pannocchie. Quante li vende? 3 euro il giorno. Dai, lasciare un po'. Ah no. Now we have all the ingredients and we can start doing the parmigiana in my kitchen. Let's go. Okay guys, we're in the kitchen. We have all the ingredients over here. We have of course the aubergine. I bought about 3 kilos of aubergine, even if I don't need them. Then we have the mozzarella, very important over here. You should take the mozzarella that doesn't have much milk in it, but afterwards we will see a little bit how to remove the milk, because otherwise it's not gonna work. Then we have parmigiano, of course. It's a very important ingredient because it's the parmigiana, takes the name from that one. And the basel, fresh leaves that I just picked from my garden. Then we have the peanut oil for frying the aubergines, a little bit of flour, and of course the tomato sauce, because we're gonna make the tomato sauce for the parmigiana. Now the first step that you need to do, it's not a short process. It's not very complicated, but it takes a little bit of time, because we're gonna need to get the bitter out of the aubergine. Otherwise they're not gonna be very nice in the mouth at the end after having cooked them in the oven. So we're gonna slice them and we're gonna put them under the salt with a heavy thing on top, so that they're gonna squeeze and release the bitter. So I'm gonna do that and I'll show you. So I washed the aubergine, I chopped off the head. I'm gonna slice it in the long way. This way, not this way, this way. I mean, you can do it as well this way, it depends. But this way is gonna cover a little bit better the size of the parmigiana, so I'm gonna go on the long way. So the first part, I don't like it. Then we're gonna do some slices. It really depends from your taste, but should not be too high. So it should be a little bit this size. See it, cameraman? This size? Huh? Is it good?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. So we're gonna do it for all the aubergines. Okay, now you've seen it. I went a little bit too high with this one, so it's not a big deal, because afterwards they're gonna get squeezed anyway. But the smaller you do, more sauce and everything you can put in it, of course, because they're gonna be small. Okay, so you go like that for all the aubergines that you need. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna give you the exact quantity, because for me it doesn't make sense, because I don't know the size of the pan that you're gonna cook that the parmigiana in, how many people you need. So you just have a look at the recipe and arrange your own quantities. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead like this, and you've seen a little bit the size. I'm gonna do it, and afterwards I'm gonna show you how to put it under the salt. Okay, we cut the aubergine. I cut just 3 of them over 6. So we're gonna put them over here in a bowl. And what we're gonna do is to put some salt on top of it. It's the big salt, it's not the small one. See? Just gonna put some salt on it, and you go and do other levels of aubergines like this to fill it in. They should fit all of them over here, but I'm not sure they're gonna do actually. So after you put the aubergines over here, you put a plate on top and some water into a cooking pot over here, or something else that is heavy anyway. To do like this, to do just a constant weight on the aubergines that are gonna release the bitter part. And you have to leave them like this for about 30 minutes. So I took a cooking pan over here, a little bit higher. I'm taking the olive oil, if it doesn't break. It doesn't have to be that complex, the sauce, because we're gonna cook it as well in the oven afterwards. So I just put a little bit of olive oil, and then to add the tomato sauce. The one I have is the homemade one, as you might realize, but you can buy any one in the store. It's gonna be, of course, worse than different, but that's what you got. So I'm gonna put it. Oh, okay, the flame is too high. Just decrease it. Leave it very slow, the minimum you can. because the slower you cook the tomato sauce, the better it's gonna be. It doesn't have to be fully cooked, it just has to be a starting part. I would say around 10 minutes, not even, it's just to start doing this, and then afterwards we're gonna finish the cooking. In the meantime, the aubergines are getting the bitter out of, and then afterwards I will show you how to handle this. Okay, in the meantime the sauce is doing, the aubergines are there under the salt. We can start cutting the mozzarella. We should cut the mozzarella in the small pieces. It doesn't have to be very accurate because it's gonna melt anyway. So cutting it in small pieces, the mozzarella should release a little bit of the milk it has. So it's gonna dry a little bit if you leave it like in a bowl or in something. You see the mozzarella here as the milk coming out, also the milk that you released in the meantime. So do it as small as you want. Put it in here. You are leaving it there, and afterwards it's gonna be a little bit more dry than as it is right now. It's about 2 minutes that the sauce is cooking. I would, in this case, adjust with the salt. There is some people that put some sugar in the tomato sauce. Okay, the sugar is the trick to have a perfect tomato sauce tasting great. And this is actually what the companies do to have the tomato sauce tasting good. But I personally don't like it because the tomato sauce that I have is very natural and the flavor is good. So we're gonna wait that this is cooking, that the aubergines are ready, and then afterwards we're gonna finish the parmigiana. Okay guys, the aubergines are ready, 30 minutes are passed, so you can see that there is a lot of water that came out of them thanks to the salt and the pressure of the weight on top of it. A suggestion, you might have put the aubergine in one of this, so that the water would flow out easier. And so yeah, as well the mozzarella, as you see, we cut it and there is some milk that came out of it. Now this mozzarella is fresh, and the one that you might buy in the store could be not really very fresh, so it should not release that much milk, but this one is fresh, so it's better to release the milk, otherwise it's not gonna be dried enough, the parmigiana, afterwards. So now there is a crucial step. We need to fry the aubergine. It's not really a necessary step. You can as well pre-cook them in the oven alone, so that it's a little bit lighter, but you can fry them, which of course is gonna taste better, but it's a little bit heavier because of course there is the, they're fried. So we're gonna need to put some flour on a plate, just a little bit, not too much. We're not gonna use the egg. We're not gonna use the egg for this. It's gonna be really a light frying. And the reason why we use the flour is to avoid that they absorb too much oil. So I'm gonna throw the water away here because we don't need it. Okay, we put the peanut oil in the pot here. It needs to be, when you're frying, you need to have sufficient oil. It needs to be at the right temperature. The peanut oil is a lot better than the sunflower oil, of course, because the smoking point of the peanut oil is around 180 degrees, whereas the sunflower is 130. So it means that the oil is better for frying, to do anything, and that's the reason why the peanut oil is more expensive than the other one. So yeah, don't fry in really not enough oil. It needs to be enough. As we're gonna fry just a flat thing, this is sufficient. Guys, I didn't tell you, but the aubergines, you need to, of course, wash them from the salt and dry them very well before frying them. Okay, so just remove the salt because otherwise it's gonna be too much. So you put the aubergines in the flour over here, and you fry it. Now I turned off the oil because it was very high temperature. I think the right temperature should be around 180 degrees for frying it. so it should be fine. We're gonna test the oil with the first one. Okay, so they need to be a little bit golden. So you leave it there for about I don't know, 20-30 seconds. Okay, so it's already good. The oil is very high in temperature, should be fine. I'm gonna put it here in a little plate just to have the biggest part of oil coming out, and then afterwards we're gonna dry it with some paper. So you gotta fry them, and as I said, see, you have them fried. It's just a pre-cook to avoid that it's not cooked enough in the oven, because there is some other ingredients who require less, less time to cook. So you need to cook this first. So we put some paper in the bowl, our friend's bowl that we used before, and we start drying better the oil. Like this, just to avoid that it's too oily and it's heavy afterwards. Okay guys, we finished the aubergine. We need to start with the sauce over here. So you take a baking tray. I don't know how to call this, I think it's baking tray. You start with the sauce that we prepared a while ago, and you start putting the sauce on the bottom. The reason why we start with the sauce is to avoid that the aubergine gets attached to the baking tray, and to give a little bit more flavor even to the lower floor. Not too much, just a little bit. Then we start with the levels of aubergine. It's like a little bit like a lasagna. You don't know how to do a lasagna yet, but one day I will show you. Give me the levels like this. Don't be scared of putting aubergines one on top of another. It's gonna be more compact. Like this. Then we go again with the tomato sauce. So I'm gonna take some mozzarella, some cubes of mozzarella we cut. We put it here and there. We wanna do 3 levels of parmigiana, so just take care of your ingredients. I don't know how many you have. Some basil some fresh one that I already washed, of course. We're gonna break it with the ends like this. Now is the main ingredients, parmigiana. You need to have the parmigiano over here. You need to fill it. So don't be scared of exaggerating with it. And this is what is gonna keep. This is what is gonna keep compact the parmigiano. Okay, guys, we finished our 3 levels of parmigiana over here, and as you see, we didn't put the mozzarella on top. The oven needs to be preheated at 180 degrees, and it's gonna be cooking this in the oven for about 25-30 minutes, but you gotta check it. So I'm gonna put this in, and we will see it after. Okay, 30 minutes have passed. Let's go and check. I think it should be pretty much done. I think it is good. You can see it is a little bit crispy on the side, so it should be fine. The thing is that this plate is good when it's a little bit colder, because if you go and cut it right now, it's gonna fall apart. If you let it dry a little bit, it's gonna stay nice on the plate. So we're gonna have to leave it a little bit to rest and to cool down, and then afterwards we're gonna try it on the plate. So yeah, I'll pull it out from the oven. And dear guys, unfortunately the piece of shit of my cameraman forgot to turn on the microphone, so we will not have the audio for this last part of this amazing video. At this moment I'm just testing the parmigiana that just came out from the oven. Let's check my face to see if it was good. Yeah, I'm satisfied, so it must have been perfect. Yeah, I'm finishing it, so it was very good, clearly. And so if you like this video, put a like, share and comment. Let me know what you think about this type of video, if you like the market. And yeah, just see you to the next video then. Ciao.